Rocks. We all know what they are, obviously. Thanks, Julian, but most people don't know there are actually a lot of things to learn about rocks.
So much so that they included it in our geography GCSE.
Again, thanks. They come in all shapes and sizes which vary on location and formation.
For the entertainment of all our viewers, we have brought along leading rock scientist and youngest ever Nobel Prize winner.
Oh, didn't see you there.
Please, Sam Raj, save us all and get on with the show.
Oh, of course. Today's show is on the rock cycle. Rock makes up the Earth's crust, whether it is the slippery slopes of the South Downs or the deepest depths of the Pacific Ocean. There are three main types of rock, and these make up the rock cycle. Let's start with magma. Volcanoes spurt magma onto the Earth, which cools and forms igneous rock. Igneous rock is also formed when magma cools underground and the earth above is eroded away, exposing the igneous rock. On the Earth's surface, wind and water can break the igneous rock into pieces. This process is called weathering and erosion. The pieces of rock are called sediments. Over millions of years, more earth piled on top, and these sediments can be compacted to make a layer. The layer can be buried under other layers. After an even longer time, these sediments can be cemented together to form our second type of rock, sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock can be weathered away to form sediments again. When sedimentary and igneous rocks are heated and put under pressure, they turn into metamorphic rock. All three can be melted back into magma or lava, allowing the cycle to continue. This sounds complicated, but when you're as talented as me, it really is quite simple.
Thanks Dr. Patel for that very interesting and informative report.
Idiot!
Now we go live to yet another great report on rocks.
Live from London, discussing rock distribution in the UK is Alan Peterson. He'll be a lot better than that Patel guy.
Julian, the camera's still on.
Sorry, I would like to issue a formal apology to Dr. Samraj Patel.
We're going to rock civilization.
As Dr. Samraj Patel explained, there are three main types of rock. These are distributed across the UK. They shape our landscape and influence everything from housing prices to the type of industry that an area is known to specialise in. Rock distribution in the UK can be split into two sections by an imaginary line that runs from the River Tees in the Pennines down to the River Exe in and around Devon. Ingeniously, this line is called the Tees Exe line. To the north of the line, granite and carboniferous limestone are the most commonly found types of rock. Granite is igneous and was formed when the northern UK's now extinct volcanoes spewed out lava onto the Earth's surface, which then solidified. As for the south of the Tees line, the main rock types are chalk and clay. Both of these are examples of compressed plants and animals, which would have been on the surface millions of years ago when the south was a warm, shallow sea, rich in plant and animal life. When these animals died, they sunk to the bottom layers. Layers on top then compressed them, forming sedimentary rocks. Obviously, there are exceptions, but thanks to the research of many geographers, we now have a general idea of rock distribution in the UK. Now, back up to heaven.
That was so much more professional than Patel.
Again, Julian, we're live.
I would like to issue a second formal apology to Dr. Samraj Patel.
Now, on to our last feature.
We've now been explained how the rock cycle works and is distributed in the UK, but one area where we lack much knowledge is that of erosion and weathering.
Back to Dr. Patel and Sir Peterson for this joint explanation.
There are many types of erosion caused by different factors and affecting different types of rock.
In this short clip, we will be outlining the main three: physical, chemical and biological.
Firstly, physical.
Physical weathering, also called mechanical weathering, can be split into two types, determined on whether it is hot or cold.
In cold climates, the most common type of weathering is frost shattering, or freeze-thaw. This is where water gets into cracks in the surface of the rock. As this water freezes, it expands, which forces the cracks apart. If this happens repeatedly, the rock can be split up.
In hot climates, exfoliation is a more important type of weathering. In the heat of the sun, the outer layers of the rock heat up faster than the inner layers. This causes them to expand. When it is cold, these layers then contract, which eventually causes cracks. Over time, the top layer peels off like an onion, which is why this process is sometimes dubbed onion skin weathering.
Next, chemical weathering. Rainwater is naturally slightly acidic because carbon dioxide from the air dissolves in it. Minerals in rock may react with the rainwater, causing the rock to be weathered. Limestone and chalk are two examples of rock that are affected heavily by chemical weathering.
3. Biological weathering. Whilst this is often debated as to whether this is a real type of weathering, biological weathering is where animals and plants wear away rock. For example, burrowing animals, such as rabbits, can burrow into a crack in a rock, making it bigger and eventually splitting the rock.
Alternatively, roots push open the cracks and make them wider and deeper. Eventually, pieces of rock may fall away.
There was the 3 main types of weathering. Weathering converts the rock back into sediments, which is where the rock cycle is involved.
Back up to you.
Thanks to Sir Peterson.
And of course the fabulous Dr. Patel.
So there you have it, a complete explanation on the rock cycle, types of rock, distribution in the UK, and the weathering process.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully we haven't bored you too much.
Julian! Bangada.
Filming.
I'm the motherfucking rhinoceros.
Please, Samraj, save us all and go on with the show.
Carboniferous limestone. To the north, Carboniferous limestone. Carboniferous, 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 Carboniferous. Okay. This kid ran my script up. This kid setting the camera up. These kids are cool. This is actually the best video I've ever taken.